Is James Harden already talking to the Clippers in an attempt to force the Sixers' hand? Also, did Jimmy Butler throw a hint out that another huge deal may be happening soon? And lastly, more footage from the Rico Hines runs.
Perfect.
What is going on, everybody? RB here. Welcome into Philly Take with RB. Like always, drop a like on the video if you enjoy the content. Be sure to subscribe. Also, ring that bell down below. That way you don't miss any of the coverage. We've been dark here the last few days. There's literally nothing to talk about. The Harden carousel, the Sixers circus continues, but it has finally been on the down low for a couple days. Take some time, refresh, relax. Training camp is a few weeks away. I'm still trying to find out whether it's going to be local or if Nick Nurse is going to pull a Doc Rivers and take this team like to South Carolina or something. Who knows? Who knows? Hopefully we'll start to get some NBA noise here in the next couple weeks and we'll heat back up, getting ready for training camp. Man, it is going to be interesting. I will tell you that. What do you think? Let me know down below in the comments. Will James Harden be a member of the Sixers to begin the season, the regular season? What do you think? Let me know your thoughts down below. Before we jump into the news, though, I want to ask you about this. This is the proposed new Sixers jersey, essentially taking the blue one and adding more shadow of red on the letters. What do you think? Yay or nay? Do you like this? To be honest, I don't. I think it looks ugly. What do you think? Let me know down below in the comment section. Now, Bleacher Report put out a top 15 guard list for next season, and here they have James Harden, number 11 on the list. Do you agree with that? Anthony Edwards, number 6. Dame, number 5. How about Shea at number 4? Devin Booker, number 3. Curry, 2. Luka, number 1. Halliburton, number 14. What do we think about this list? What do we think about this list? Would you move anybody around? Trae Young, number 13. No Tyrese Maxey on this list. Guess they're sleeping on him. But anyway, James Harden, number 11. And that brings us to the recent conversation. According to Vince Goodwill, who put out an article, he says that James Harden has been in conversation with PG and Kawhi, and they're all kind of on the same page. Now, this has been reported by multiple sources. I dove around a little bit, looked at some different guys. Vince Goodwill actually covers I think he covers the NBA, and he has a podcast just covering general NBA. I'm not sure if he does Clippers work as well. But a lot of the sources are saying that, James already making these calls. He's in contact with PG and Kawhi, and they're ready to build this big three. Well, where's the tampering, man? Is that tampering or not? Watch the Sixers get docked the second-round pick for this. The Sixers do anything a little, right? They whisper. They call Daniel House, and they get docked 2 second-round picks. What do you think might happen here? Right? Is this tampering or no? Why not? Why not, James? Just call him. Just have a conversation. Go have dinner with them. Why not? Right? He thinks he's already on the Clippers. Apparently, that's what you can do now, right? Stars can just say, okay, I'm just going to talk to these guys and go to the team. If they are able to do that, why are the teams getting penalized as hard as they are? Does that really make sense? Does that make a lot of sense? I don't think it does. If this is true, I mean, again, it's just another stepping stone in this whole process. We know James Harden probably does not want to come back under any circumstance. We heard Maxey kind of preach out there like, yo, James, if you were able to come back, people would accept you and this team could be better and they could win. There is just no reporting as of the last week or so on what this situation is going to look like in a couple weeks. And it's really the big mystery. Who knows? Will Harden report to camp? I think Daryl's going to stand his ground and say, James, you better suit up and come back. But again, that could cause a toxic locker room culture, a toxic workplace. So we'll have to wait and see what happens, man. But what we do know is another deal has been stagnant. Another deal has been, on the decline here in terms of possibility of happening. But Jimmy Butler, that doesn't stop him. Jimmy Butler's out here at camps. He's out here at scrimmages, at games. And look at him. Look at him. Jimmy Butler's going to hit a step back. And what does he do? He's going to point to the wrist. He says, yo, it's Dame time. Jimmy Butler loves trolling, man, and it's annoying, but I love the guy. He's got that cold killer mentality. He wants it. He wants it bad. And Jimmy's out here saying, yo, I've been to the finals a couple times now. I was so close. Go get me another star. I carried these boys to the finals. look, there's no secret out there. I mean, Damian Lillard wants to be on the Miami Heat. This could shake up the Eastern Conference. I mean, it would be a huge trade package, but I respect what the Blazers are doing right now. For the same people out there who are saying, oh, Daryl Morey should just offload James Harden and get nothing. Is that what the Blazers should do? Should they offload Damian Lillard, the best player in franchise history, and get whatever the Heat are willing to give them back? No, that's not fair. That's not how negotiations work. That's not how trades should work, right? They have to go and work out a deal, maybe bring in other teams. And, well, Jimmy Butler's doing his part here, right? This is his recruiting pitch, I guess. And the Blazers are saying, well, we're not just going to take Nikola Jovic and, you know, Tyler Hero, and that's it for Damian freaking Lillard. And I agree. Get a substantial trade package. It's not going to hurt the Blazers. They have all these young, promising players, unlike the Philadelphia 76ers, who are all ready to play. So they're going to be developing nonetheless. And if Dame holds out, then it'll just be another strenuous process. But they got to find a way, you know, to really streamline these things, because, man, both of these situations could really get ugly. Now, in terms of the Sixers, what we do know is some of the young players are putting in work this offseason. We have more footage from the Rico Hines runs. Shout out to my guy Sean Bernard for posting these clips. There's Jaden Springer, man. He's working on his game this offseason. To be honest, I'm not going to believe it till I see it in the game. There's Paul Reed. Nice little dump off to him. Look, Jaden Springer has to develop as a ball handler. He's got to get comfortable with the ball. That was a nice play we saw before where he broke Grady Dick's ankles. But he's got to get more comfortable as a ball handler. And we know his defensive presence is there, but it still looks a little bit awkward. So I hope we're not going into year 3 of Jaden Springer, who's only like 20 years old, by the way. Still has a lot of time to develop, but again, the time frame has never fit the Sixers. They are trying to compete, and he needs to take a huge jump. If he wants that opportunity, it's kind of like the Matisse Thybulle thing, right? We know he's got that defensive presence. We know he's got a lot of potential, but are you going to take the next step? Will you have a consistent jump shot? We never saw it with Simmons. We never saw it with Thybulle. Will Springer be the guy to break the curse? A lot of people are high on Springer. A lot of people are very low. I don't think there's an in-between that lies with Jaden Springer. One guy we do know who's constantly come up big, though, is Paul Reed. Once again, shout out to Sean for posting this. And, Paul Reed's out here having a time. And I'm very happy, like I said, when I made the video, when the Sixers hired Rico Hines, I'm just very happy to have him on the staff. Obviously, the familiarity with Nick Nurse, but this guy is like a trainer. He has these camps, and he knows how to develop some of these players, and he's very tough, very hard-nosed, and, he's going to demand the best out of these guys. We saw under Doc Rivers, right, a lot of assistant coaches, but it seems like none of them either stood up and did anything or were afraid to, or they never had any stock in the game plan or whatever else. We saw Dan Burke come in for Doc when he was out sick, and Dan Burke, went 3-0? Like, he was a great coach, had a great presence right away, and you have to have these assistants who can bring this to the table. And you look at Paul Reed, I mean, last year he obviously worked on his frame. I'm noticing that his lateral movements are a lot cleaner now. And there he is dapping up Giannis. Giannis and him going back and forth. I mean, Reed locked him up a couple times. It's cool to see Giannis, kind of show that brotherhood there with Paul Reed. Reed's going in, working on some handles. But most importantly, Paul Reed's working on that jumper a little bit. Look at that little pick and pop. He's not going to think. It still looks very ugly, let's be honest. Still very awkward. But the one thing that has held him back is that jump shot. Just like every other Sixer. If Paul Reed can develop the jump shot and he can make it consistent, and I'm very happy they brought him back, with their 5 other centers. If he can develop that jump shot, I mean, look at his movements on defense. He's got nice hands, obviously the block ability, and he can rebound, and he hustles, and he plays hard, and he's got the great attitude. A lot of people love Paul Reed, a fan favorite, but he's got to develop the offensive game. If so, maybe he could eventually play some 4 with Joel Embiid. You just can't have a negative or a 0 out there on offense, and that's just why it's never happened. But the sky's the limit for Paul Reed if he continues to develop the offensive side. Yes, I know you've heard it a million times before with different players, but it's good to see him out here getting more comfortable in a game-like situation, putting up some shots. So hopefully Paul Reed takes another step. We'll just have to wait and see how it plays out with this team. But again, the main factor in this is James Harden. What does he do? How long are the Sixers willing to stand out there and take this to the length, right? Are they willing to let this go into the season or not? We'll have to wait for some answers. We'll figure it out. We'll find out soon. The Sixers have been through this situation not too long ago. So we'll see what happens. Give me all your thoughts down below in the comment section. As always, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And with that being said, I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.